What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hywel and today we're going to talk about non-responders. We're going to talk about back training and 4 tips how you can actually overcome this issue while training back. So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, like I said, we're going to talk about back training and mainly focus on the non-responders. Now, I thought twice about making this video, even though that this was actually a requested video, so someone asked me to make this, mainly because I think a lot of people jump to being a non-responder rather than focusing on the time they've spent training. So just to put things into perspective, I myself have been training for about 4 to 5 years now, and I've only now picked up the full ability to be able to use my back properly and I think effectively during my workouts, which we're going to discuss now. So today I'm going to give you 4 tips on how you can actually improve your mind to muscle connection, which is where they all basically stem back to when I talk about the tips today. Now in today's video we are going to focus mainly on back. Even though I was asked about chest and back, I might actually make a different video for chest in the future, depending on how you guys find this one, and basically because I don't want this video to spill over and be too much information for you guys. So we're going to focus on back mainly today, and the main techniques or advice people would give are to use your big lifts, so your deadlifts and your pull-ups, but I'm gonna actually try and avoid that today because non-responders may not find those movements the most beneficial, which takes us on to tip 1. Now my first tip is to actually practice flexing, because flexing is effectively your mind to muscle connection. It's the ability to flex or contract a muscle independently without any added resistance on that muscle. So actually practicing flexing can have a massive carryover to your training. Now this is quite hard for beginners to do, but something I do highly recommend. Not all beginners are able to perform a lat spread, and I remember myself that I couldn't do it initially. I had no idea how to contract my lats. So practicing these movements over time is definitely going to help you build that muscle in the gym. It'll just help you to focus your mind on those muscles you're working, and it lets you understand your body a little bit more and movement patterns. So when you're carrying out exercises in the gym, you know which and how these muscles contract while you're performing certain exercises. Like I said, mind to muscle connection is absolutely essential, and every tip I give you today will essentially stem back to that principle. Now my second tip is to not follow routines that won't work for you, and this is something that you'll have to find out from yourself over time. So for example, if you see your favorite bodybuilder or favorite social media star performing certain exercises in a certain routine, that's not necessarily the best exercises or split for you. It's not going to work the exact same way for you as it does for them, and they're doing that for a reason, because they've probably worked out over time what works best. Everybody is mechanically different, so having different points of leverages as well as many other variables will affect the way the exercises work for your body. So over time, try and mix your exercises up and try and take feedback from your workouts the day after. See how you feel, see if during the workouts you can feel your body contracting in the right ways while performing the exercises. The last thing you want to be doing is performing an exercise that isn't working for you at all, or perhaps you're feeling it in a way that you shouldn't. For example, even though I said at the start of this video that pull-ups are an amazing exercise, as a beginner they might not be the right exercise for you. You might not be contracting the back or working the back the way the pull-up is supposed to work your back. So what I would normally suggest for a beginner is to work up towards a pull-up. Try and replicate the movement perhaps with a lat pull down, or try and perform the movement with banded exercises, or some way you can remove the tension throughout the entire movement so that you can build towards contracting the back properly doing the pull-up. And that moves quite nicely into tip 3, which is try to remove as many variables as possible from the movements while trying to learn how to contract the back correctly. Now there's many ways you can do this, and as a beginner I would perhaps suggest using machines to eliminate the stability that you need while using free weights. Now this can be counterproductive over time, and when going into free weights you're not going to have that stability, but I think that learning how to contract the back correctly first before moving into free weights and bringing stability into the equation would be more beneficial in the long run, and being able to work that back will just be able to develop and grow in the right way over time. Again, this just simply stems back to the mind to muscle connection, and I think that it is more essential to have that mind to muscle connection using a machine rather than just going through the range of motion without necessarily being able to work the back correctly by using free weights. Now my last and final tip is to use pre-activation exercises. So for myself, I use banded exercises, stuff like banded pullovers. You can also use cables or any light resistance such as dumbbells, and I use these before deadlifts to help me engage my lats. It does make a massive difference for myself personally, and I highly recommend you guys give it a go. Even if it's not for deadlifts specifically, try and use banded exercises to activate your lats before carrying out a back workout in general. I also use this principle for pretty much every single body part, so I always pre-activate shoulders and chest as well, because I just feel like it helps me with my mind to muscle connection, there it is again, throughout the entire workout. So that is like a major key and something I've been doing for years. Now that being said, there is a lot of information in this video, and like I said at the start, I was in two minds about actually making the video, because a lot of people jump to the conclusion that they are non-responders and that they aren't able to grow the lats correctly because they struggle with that body part, maybe the stubborn body part. And while this may be true for a lot of you, I think that a lot of you will also need to just take the time and enjoy the process, because building a great physique does take a long time, and if you're gonna try and rush it, then you're gonna do things incorrectly. So just learn your body more than anything. Like I said, mind to muscle connection, it takes time. It's not something you can pick up overnight, especially for beginners. Being able to contract and engage lats, etc., it is something that takes a lot of practice, and actually building the muscle will help with that. So bear with it, guys. I guarantee it will come over time. Don't worry too much about it, don't stress, and just, you're gonna make gains overall, so don't worry about it. If you're enjoying the process, it'll all come together, I promise. Like I said, I may make a similar video for chest. I have been asked to do it in messages, so that is something I'm looking to do. It will be very similar, however. I will be using stuff like activation exercises, so it follows a lot of the same principles, mind to muscle connection, but I will be able to overlay different clips so you guys can see what I actually do for those exercises. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it informative at all, please give the video a like because it helps the channel out, and subscribe if you're new, of course, and I will catch you in my next video. Peace.